Yesterday saw the final of the FIFA Club World Cup, which ended in victory for Man City, who were crowned world champions. As you know, the tournament is held at the same time every year, unless it's postponed due to special circumstances, as was the case last year due to the coincidence with the FIFA Men's World Cup, or due to the quarantine imposed the previous year. But apparently, no one cares about the winner or the decision to postpone or even cancel the tournament. And there are many reasons for this, and we'll find out why in this video, so keep watching until the end. As we have already said, the competition takes place at this time of year, in a period that coincides with the national leagues and continental competitions. This means that the teams are concentrated on their participation in these competitions. And then suddenly, the Club World Cup arrives as a nuisance that forces the team to leave what they are doing and travel to another country, and sometimes to another continent, like the international breaks, which we explained in a previous video, when we see that one of the reasons people are annoyed by international breaks is that they always arrive at inconvenient times. Also, the competition is always unfair between a strong team from Europe and teams from the rest of the continents. The other injustice is that the European and South American clubs start directly in the semi-finals, since they are represented by two continents with the strongest competition compared to the other continents, as well as to avoid weaker matches if they take part from the start. But in the end, the winner of the competition is known in advance, even before it starts, which in turn limits its suspense. That's why people aren't interested in it, except for the people who live in the host country, the participating clubs fans, and some football fans from here and there. And even the fans of the European club might not be interested, because they already know they're going to win, and they don't consider it an achievement. But let's be fair, clubs from other continents and their fans are very interested in the competition, and if they win, they consider it an achievement. And even more, there are those who consider that playing in the final despite losing is an achievement, because they played against the best team in Europe, and it's normal if they lose. This is why most Europeans are not interested in this competition. And if you notice that since it was created in 2000, it has never been hosted by a European country. It was hosted by Japan for several years, then by the United Arab Emirates, then by Morocco, and now by Saudi Arabia. These countries are doing FIFA a favor, because Europe, for example, doesn't want it, because hosting the competition could have more disadvantages than advantages. They will have to stop the league and make all the necessary preparations for an international competition, in exchange for the presence of few supporters from the participating clubs, most of whom need a visa to enter Europe. But if we look at the countries that always host it, you will see that their aim is to show the world that they are a football nation, and that they are capable of hosting any world competition. And as you can see, they have succeeded when you see that they will be hosting the next two World Cups. Apart from that, they haven't won anything else. Maybe they will lose money repairing stadiums and other things. So Europe doesn't need to prove anything to the world, and it doesn't want all this trouble. For a competition, no one knows when it will be played until they found out it's already started. This is due to low level of media coverage and lack of strong promotion, meaning that it's a global competition, but only a few football fans know when it will start and the participating clubs, while the majority know that the competition has already started when the European team travels, which means that many only watch the competition from the semi-finals onwards, or only the final. This is also due to the fact that the competition lasts less than 2 weeks, which is not enough to create a competitive atmosphere and also create unforgettable moments, as is the case in other competitions. So much so that when you try to remember the winner of a previous edition, you must struggle to do so. But the only way to know is to remember who won the Champions League that year, because it's often a European club. And if not, just remember the surprise team that beat the European club in the final. It's really not difficult to remember this way, and there is nothing better than this method. This indicates that people have other competitions that interest them at the same time, which have been around for decades, whereas the Club World Cup only began in 2000, and it was also cancelled for 3 years, and this was for a number of reasons, the most important of which was the bankruptcy of FIFA's marketing partner, but it resumed in 2005. It's however a new competition compared to this that football fans follow. Also, since it takes place every year, it has become boring and routine, especially as it only brings together 7 clubs, which is not a large number to bring together a lot of their supporters, especially as we said 2 clubs start from the semi-finals, and also the majority of these clubs are almost always from the same countries that dominate their continents, with Auckland City which is almost always present, and that's why this competition doesn't reach new viewers every year. This is what made FIFA think seriously about a way to revive the competition, and that's what they have done, because from 2025 onwards 32 clubs will compete, and the competition will take place in the summer, and it will be held every 4 years instead of every year. This will certainly increase the number of strong competitors and the number of people interested, all on condition that the players take the competition seriously and don't treat it like a bunch of friendlies. But let's wait and see what happens in the future. But so far, it seems that a lot of people aren't as interested in it as they should be. I'm not saying that no one is watching it, but if you consider the idea behind it and the fact that it brings together the best club from every continent, you can expect a lot, but in the end, very few are really interested.